I'm going to fiddle around and try to figure out what has happened to the camera. Let's see here. Plug back in. What on earth? Alright, I've tried unplugging and plugging the camera back in. It doesn't seem to be working. Maybe if I deactivate and reactivate. Alright, well, I tried the easy fix, it didn't work. So I guess we're just going to stream without the camera this time. That's fine. Alright, so, on to what we were actually meant to be doing. I have quite a few intermediary tasks before I can get synthetic power shards up. And that itself is just an intermediate task for having the ability to make my power system in a reasonable amount of time. So, let's see. I need a source of SAM, preferably, next to like Caterium or something would be the most convenient. Although, it being next to like iron is also fine. Alright, there's Caterium right by Sam. So we can head off over that way towards a radar tower that I don't entirely recognize. So we need to make fix-it trigons, among other things. So that's what we need the SAM for. So let's get moving, and it should be like southwest-ish. No, southeast-ish. Obviously. Can you tell I'm bad with directions? I get turned around very easily. It's this way. So I guess we can get a bit of a head start through this hypertube. And I can't believe it, I've forgotten to Google how to make hypertube cannons again. Alright, well, one of these days I will learn how to make a hypertube cannon, and then the world will be my oyster. Alright, up we go. So yeah, I need synthetic power shards because if I don't have synthetic power shards, I'll need to place like 1,000 fuel generators for my fuel setup. And I don't want to place 1,000 fuel generators. Like the motors alone would be a problem there. Not to mention just the extreme boredom. So we're going to get synthetic power shards, so we have to place significantly less. And is that even pointing towards the right? I think it might be. I think that radar tower out there might be the actual one I'm heading for. So let's pop on over there. I guess I am following this hypertube line for now, but I think it's going to curve off that way, whereas I'm heading further east. So off we go. Wait, power. I need to get power over there in order to actually have this be a thing. And that radar tower, if I remember correctly, is just powered by the nearby geysers. So I'm gonna need to find a power pole somewhere to bring power over that way, which is gonna mean heading more south along the hypertube lane, which I'm now thinking I should have hopped into. Alright, power poles. Alright, there's a factory. It'll have power in it. Alright, there's a power tower. So we grab that. And we head east. We're just flying along. Let's place it one down. Land on it. And grab it and keep on flying. Place that one down. And land on it, recover our fuel. Then just place one in the distance. And we can zip line over to it. My last hard drive has finished, so that's another thing I need to do. I need to grab more hard drives for the research. Yeah, I need to grab more hard drives because I need some alternate recipes to make the synthetic power shards reasonably efficiently. It's not like, I don't know, I'll probably need a fair number of them, just in order to not get unlucky and miss the ones I have. Alright, keep on ziplining over. And okay, now we have to not get shot. Alright, now we have to move more northeast. In fact, is that giant squiggly thing over there looks like I think the landmark I saw on the map. Alright, let's land here and see. Yeah, so the deuterium is there, the SAM is there. So let's keep on moving. And there's a hard drive right here. Have I grabbed this hard drive already? Yes, I have. Alright. In that case, I am being shot at for no reason. Alright. So I need to grab this Mercer sphere and then figure out exactly where I'm headed to. Let's see here. If I were... The SAM is that way, the deuterium is that way. Alright. Let's grab that, bring it over here. And knowing my luck, it's going to be in a cave or something. So let's head around to see, is it just out in the open? No, there's some iron. Yeah, so the SAM should be around here. I should be staring at it. I'm obviously not, which means it's going to be underground somewhere. So let's start looking for cave entrances. And this looks like a promising place for a cave entrance to be. Well, I don't see it immediately. Could be around here. Oh yeah, we found her. Alright, cave entrance found. We need to actually get power here, but I think it'll probably be easier to just go get everything set up. And then bring the power out to link up. Alright, come on. Alright. Spiders dealt with. At least that group. Are there any other large spiders? Yes, there is a large spider down there. So it's probably gonna make a jump. Or it might not make a jump. It might just let me kill it. Fantastic. Alright, so let's set up a Miner Mark III. And then hop on over. So let's overclock this so that we have more SAM. And power it up. And now we just have to bring the belt out to the Caterium. Come on. Go somewhere convenient. There we go. We're going to need to bring the belt and the power. Just dragging a lengthy belt. Alright. Belt is almost out of the cave. As is the power. Alright. The belt is clear of the cave. Power is clear of the cave. Now we need to get back up there. So let's bring this a bit further out. And lift you up. And then fly up to follow it. And bring the power up. And belt up. And we should be seeing our power poles somewhere around here. Hello. Sort of in the middle of something right now. Alright. I'm not sure how you died there exactly. But, oh, you didn't die, you just ragdolled. Alright, now you died. That was weird. Alright. I see power poles. So now we run along, hook that up there. And we officially have power attached to our SAM. Now we just need to bring this the rest of the way out to the Caterium. Stop running. Gosh, I'm stuck on a mushroom. Alright, so that's all that dealt with. Now, the Caterium should be up here, probably. No, the next one over. Supposedly? Is it also in an underground cave? Well, that's somewhat funny. Yeah, this looks like a cave here. A cave with Caterium in it. Alright, so we're going to have to do that again then. Miner Mark III on node. Power it up. I don't think I need that much. How much? What's the ratio like? I need more. I do need actually more Caterium than SAM, but I have 300 SAM, so 400 is enough here. So let's pull this out. We're right by the swamp, so that's fun. Let's get some distance from, so that we're not directly underneath of the cave. And then we bring that up. We bring that out here, and then we'll bring it up as well. Just quick little taps to get you all the way up to the top. Something sees me, but I'm just gonna ignore it. I think it's just like a baby hog or something, and that's, yeah, he's no real threat. Alright, so the power now goes up. As does the belt. Oh, and there's a Mercer Sphere here. May as well grab that. Alright. Mercer Sphere. Check. Now, where was I heading? Yeah, pretty much directly this way. Alright. He finally figured out how to get to me. And he instantly died for it. Alright. That's those guys dealt with. There's also an adult who I will shoot a couple of times. See, sometimes shooting staggers them and sometimes it doesn't. Goodbye. I'm gonna shoot you a couple of times just to make sure. But you're no longer a threat to me. Alright, so we just continue dragging this along. And I'm gonna need to get these two. I need to find out where exactly I brought the SAM to. And stop getting attacked by random hogs. That would be nice. Please. Mushroom hitboxes. My nemesis. Oh. Okay. Mushroom hitboxes, my nemesis. Alright, he's gone all the way down over there. Alright, got him. And we continue bringing the belts now that we have gotten rid of that distraction. And the other belt should be somewhere around here. But as far as where that somewhere is exactly, I have no idea. But we do have our power poles. And it seems like there are a lot more monsters around here than there were last time. Please don't shoot me. That did not hit me. That did not hit me. That missed me by a mile. What the heck? Alright. Getting good hits in, and got him. Alright. That's that guy dealt with. Did I hook that power up? I did. Yeah, and it's already here. It moves fast on tier 4 belts. It moves really fast on tier 4 belts. So let's continue to drag this over this way. And eventually we should stumble on the SAM belt. Okay, that belt goes, the wire goes over this way, which makes me think that's where the SAM belt is. Yes, it's up here. Alright, so now we have the Caterium and the SAM. Before we actually build the Fixonium or whatever. We have another thing that we want to do with the SAM, which is the SAM fluctuator is pipes and wire, so I am going to bring in a drone port of iron and make iron pipes and iron wire. SAM iron supplier. Tell it to go to the iron source. Just check. Okay, there is iron down there, but that's kind of far away. Kind of don't want to bother. I don't want to bother dragging another giant thing up. So now we have to get a stack of fuel. Throw that in. We need to power it on and give it a drone. And it'll go off, grab some iron and come back. So now we can just get a couple of constructors. No, we need to smelt the iron first. And I do not need massive quantities, so just one smelter manifold should hopefully do the trick. So you go in there. You're set to iron. You're set to iron. So this will give us a stack. Let's get Mark III power poles so I don't have to worry about constantly running out of attachments. Alright, so now we have 60 iron a minute. Let's set up a constructor manifold, which I'm going to pretty much just misuse. So we can set that like there. Attach that in, and this will be iron pipes, but set to 30%, so it uses half of it. This will be iron wire. And those two aren't going to be linked in. Linked in. Alright. And then we just need a manufacturer. That goes into that. That goes into that. This manufacturer is set to SAM fluctuators, which is going to require pipes and wires and reanimated SAM. So let's then take this and point it this way, because we have some construction to do. And if we check SAM, the only thing it is used for is reanimated SAM. So we're going to have to turn the entire thing into reanimated SAM. So that's 120. 240. Add in another constructor for reanimated SAM, and call this 50% so that it uses 300 SAM, And we need to upgrade those belts and that belt. And then we power all of these guys on. And now we have 30, 60, like 75 reanimated Sam a minute, which is fine-ish. So we're going to drag some of that over there. So once the iron shows up, we should sort out the iron. So we have 60 ingots. We're getting, this would give us 7.5 pipes and 22.5 wire. We need more pipes than that. So let's set this to 45%. Oh, we need to power these on. So if that's set to 45%, it's using 45 iron ingots and getting 11.25 pipes. So then this would be using the other, so it's still 22.5. I guess technically we could squeak a little more. So we could set this to like 47.5 plus 12.5 is 60. So that would work then. And we just need to hook that one up to power. And we also need to siphon off some of this. Alright, the iron drone has showed up. It is providing the iron. That's wonderful. Alright, so now we should run around back here and put that stuff in the dimensional storage. So we have that, we have that. This is producing not that much. And hopefully we will now never have to manually craft SAM fluctuators ever again. The wire and steel should be starting to show up. Oh, I've fucked that up. I fucked that up pretty horribly. That's the wrong belt. That goes that way. These are the belts with the outputs on them, not the other ones. No, stop it. That's not what that is. Alright, then that goes there, and then that goes there. And this should be good to go. And why do you have not enough fuel? Is there a problem with the iron source providing fuel? I'm gonna have to go check that, because if that is a real problem, I'll have to it'll break like 20 different things and it'll suck. Alright. And check. This is about to start running. So how much wire are we getting? 22.5. So I should set this to like 4.5 per minute. And then that would be 13.5 steel pipes, which is still not going to be 100%. But close enough. Now let's set this to 40%. 39% is 11.7. And this is making 11.8. 39.5%. That's almost exactly perfect, but it doesn't really matter all that much. It's not a huge deal. And then how much Caterium is that using? Oh, reanimated SAM rather. It's using 23.7, which means I still have like 50-ish, like 47 reanimated SAM. Alright. So let's... Yep, SAM fluctuators still in short supply. Probably have to... I'll manual craft them this time, and then this will probably be the last time ever. If this isn't the last time I ever have to manually craft these dang things, I'm going to be very upset. We do need more of them now than we have in the past, but... Crafting, crafting, crafting. Alright, we are crafting, we are crafting, we are crafting. So up to halfway. And wait for a bit for the dimensional storage to refill. We are up to 9 SAM fluctuators that have been produced. Alright. Steel pipes are not doing correctly because of manifold things. So I'll just fill those up to fix that. And now we'll head back to manual craft again. And hopefully for the last time, manually crafting SAM fluctuators. So manual crafting is a fun part of the game, which I enjoy. We're up to like 70. What other things? Okay, yeah, there's nothing else really to manually craft. Just gonna have to... There are some stuff to manually craft in the equipment workshop, though. Let's get some more iodine-infused inhalers, or filters, rather, is what I meant to say. And speaking of inhalers, let's get a couple of those. And some portable miners, because why not at this point? May as well do manual crafting while we wait for the SAM fluctuators to show up. go through these like crazy, and I want to automate these soon as well. Alright, we are now doing the last batch of manual crafting for SAM fluctuators we will ever have to do. Just get up to 100 of these. 8, 9, 100. Alright, now we can slap down a converter. Graphics, please. Alright. Well, we fixed it. And bring that in. Say fixite ingot Caterium. And why is there a giant spider right there? How are you right next to my drone setup? Yeah. Ah, Jesus. Alright. This is very precarious. And I can't even stop to put inhalers into my hand because it could jump me at any moment. I do not have... Okay. I think I'm safe for now. I'm gonna have an inhaler. And go back in. Alright, he was one shot away. Jeez. Oh, I hate those things so much. Ah, this is Caterium ore, not Caterium ingot. Right, let me get a smelter manifold. Which... that goes in there. These are set to Caterium ingots. Hooked up 2 power poles. And that goes in there. Well, this is a bit of an awkward position for that to be. So how much are we getting here? 30 Caterium. So if you set that to 50%, then we wouldn't be using all of the reanimated SAM. That's fine. I'm not super concerned about efficiency at this exact moment. Wait, this is just the ingots, right? So now I need a constructor. Tell you to make trigons. You're using 10 per minute, which is more than enough. So you can go to 75%. And be powered on. So we are now making fixite trigons. And these we will storage container, dimensional depot, That's all hooked up. Alright, so we're making really quite a decent amount of fixite trigons, all things considered. As well as not a huge amount of sand fluctuators, but no, pull up the inventory and then search. Yeah, we're making some anyway, and that's the important thing. Alright, so we are making some sand fluctuators, a decent number of sand trigons, of fixite. What are they called? Fixite? Fixite trigons. Yeah. And so with that, I think our work here is done. Except we're going to need to head down to the iron source to see if it's having fuel problems or if this is just too far away. This might just be too far away for that fuel to work. So in fact that's almost certainly what it is. So let's just solve that really simply by slapping down a drone port, giving it a drone, and you are going to be called East Fuel Source. And you're going to go to Fuel Source. And let's see, power it on. You need some starter fuel, of course. Off you go. Now we have a splitter, so you feed some of your fuel back into yourself. And then some of your fuel down into that. And that should resolve that problem. Also make you faster belts, just to make sure nothing funny happens on that end. It shouldn't. And I'll give you another package of fuel in the meantime. Alright, so that will be that. I think we are just about done here. That's running at 100%. Yep. And this is running at 100%. Alright, now we head back to the hub and do some unlocks, which should include the things that we need to unlock the synthetic power shards. And then we will head out to do some hard drive hunting, because we also need that. I don't need power slugs anymore, because I'm going to be getting synthetic ones very soon. So let's take a nice little journey. Land on a mushroom. And keep on flying. And keep on flying. I have a bit of a track, but it is right there. It's quite fun that you can look up and see the space elevator from anywhere except obviously caves. It's quite cool. Alright. I feel like we're quite close. It's kind of hard to tell. But it certainly feels like we're in territory that I've seen before. Like this is the biome that my base is in. There's the hypertube. Alright. And yep, those are some signs of early exploration with ladders up walls. And there's my blueprint device, which I have basically just marking the front entrance of my base. Alright, so now we're here. You can see quantum encoding. So we're going to need 400 supercomputers. That's a lot of supercomputers, not going to lie. I need time crystals, which I have. No. Time crystals. And fixite trigons. And turbo motors. Plunk, plunk. Alright, now we're going to have to wait for supercomputers and turbo motors to get through the dimensional storage, which is probably, that looks like it's going at 120 per minute. So good foresight there past me. Alright, we've got those. Did I do the same with the turbo motors? Also looks like it. Oh no, that might not be foresight, that might just be the stuff that's already in the dimensional storage filtering in. Alright, turbo motors are good. Supercomputers are halfway there. Yeah, okay, I didn't have good foresight. It was just the stack already sitting in the storage queue waiting to be filled. Let's clear some random junk out of my inventory. Satisfactory is a constant struggle between getting more cool stuff in your inventory and clearing out random junk from your inventory. Alright, we'll throw another stack in. And let's go hopping around. Did I ever upgrade this? Yeah, I remember that. That's the Mark II belt. Let's check this out. No hard drives left. And I can't quite get the next upload speed to 240 a minute. I could get manual depot uploader or depot expansion, or I guess both. Or I could finally get power augmenters. supercomputers. Almost there, just a little more than a stack. Yeah, let's get power augmenters, which is going to involve stealing back some of these guys and some of those guys. That ought to be good for now, I guess. And grab some SAM fluctuators. Hey, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. We have lots of smaller tasks today to try to make life more convenient for myself in the long run.
Potential for harnessing alien energy completed. Fixit has identified 2 development tracks requiring additional research to integrate Summersloops safely and efficiently into Fixit technology.
The loop organ contains scripture, contains instruments to compose symphonies of root and object circling. Shrines to evolution and revolution.
I see. It seems we truly are building understanding.
Alright. That's that.
Milestone reached. This is not a competition, but other pioneers, such as A3CKY and U531355, had already completed project assembly by this point.
Thank you for the follow.
Fixit was obviously
Appreciate
wrong about you, but perhaps so was I. Regardless, you have finally unlocked the quantum encoder, which requires vast fluctuating power and excited photonic matter to produce highly complex parts. Do not make the same mistakes managing the resulting dark matter residue as you did other byproducts. Project part number 11, the AI expansion server, is now your highest priority. Galaxy-wide project management is taxing to even the most advanced among us, especially those who have to manage the less advanced. Like kittens and puppies, who are definitely still waiting for you to save them.
Oh boy, I can't wait to save those kittens and puppies who are definitely real. Alright, so I need to do this manual crafting because SAM fluctuators are producing very slowly. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. Alright, we have unlocked the power augmenter.
Power augmenter unlocked. Summersloops naturally harvest.
Harvest.
Yes, harvest energy from distant sources and distribute it locally. The power augmenter supercharges Summersloops by feeding it local power, increasing its harvesting range and efficiency, and thus power output. Basically, the more power it's given, the more it provides.
Do not loop the loop organ. It will shred and tear and unravel the threads, many temples burned.
Good to know. That confirms that hypothesis.
Alright, so I'm going to need 10 Summersloops for that. My poor summer soup supplies. My poor summer soup supplies are going to be quite significantly damaged by doing this. But hopefully I should be able to find some. There's gotta be another. There's gotta be another summer sloop somewhere around here. I know I have. Yeah, there's some more. Alright, now I have 13 of those. So now I can get more freaking SAM fluctuators. It'll be so nice once I don't have to constantly manual craft these. But here we are. Manually crafting a seemingly infinite supply of SAM fluctuators to do everything that we need to do. $8, $29, $30. We probably need like 40 total. We have some in the dimensional storage already. Alright, 45 should be enough. Yeah, okay, so we just need empty space to put it in, which can be out back here by all this stuff. Let's widen that area. Alien power augmenter. Alright, so then we connect this to the power grid. And gives a good solid 3,000 megawatts. That's decent. It's a good, decent spike. I'm certainly not going to complain. It is a lot of summer sloops for that, though. But it'll be... Obviously, it'll scale with our increased power production thing. Which leads us to... right. So we need to drop down here. And I think oil-based diamonds was the one that we wanted to use. And dark matter trap probably can't hurt. Alright, so now we go to this. And we also need dark matter crystallization as the third alt recipe we need for this. So that means, unfortunately, have I re-scanned all of these? Yes. Alright. That means it is time to head out hard drive hunting. Alright, so let's find some hard drives. And the remaining hard drives are mostly to the southeast. Frankly, really close to where I was just a minute ago. That's interesting. Alright, so let's head on down to the general vicinity of the swamp. We don't have to really go into the swamp because I already got those last time I went hard drive hunting, but I do need to be in the general vicinity. Actually, there is one which is close by here. It's a power one up on this pillar. Alright, let's get a power tower platform up. And start dragging that along. Alright, so in fact, is that it down there on the ground? It should be somewhere. Yeah, I think that's it. Maybe. Looks like it is. Let's head over and investigate. There's also a Mercer sphere right there, so I can grab that. I'll hover over to grab that first while I still have altitude. And Mercer sphere acquired. That would have been a 6 snipe if it had worked. There are quite a few enemies guarding this. I would like to get the spitter first since it is the only one that can harm me while I'm up here. Alright, that's that. Now we start getting shots on the larger hog. And just a couple more. Alright, larger hog done. We just have to get rid of the smaller ones. If they would stay put long enough to be shot, that would be convenient. That one did. That one down. Now there's just one more. I'll drop down to ground level to get this guy. Alright. So that is secured. And yep, needs power. Yoink. Alright. Now we keep heading east, or we head south. East ones are going to be in less dangerous terrain because that's east of here is like the desert starting zone, which means I should be encountering some relatively easier fights. Let's see if I can grab this before they do anything about it. Yes, I can. And we move. Alright. Trying to decipher the map here. Looks like there's one south of me. There's one in a cave north of me, so if I happen to see the cave, I'll go in there, but I distinctly remember not being able, looking for that one in particular and not being able to find it. So I'm going to pass on it and head south instead. Ooh, there's oil. That's fun. There's a Mercer Sphere. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, it looks like it's there. So let's head over this way and keep a good solid eye out for the thing. And I'm afraid I've gotten turned around again. No, it is just this way. Yes, I see it on top of that pillar. Blends in relatively nicely. Up we go. And maybe I can do this quick and it won't notice me. Yes. Alright. And we leave. I'm not entirely sure why they were incapable of shooting me, but I'm not going to complain. Oh, and there's a factory right there. In fact, yes, this is literally where I just was. Alright. I think based on my map that I've gotten this one already. Yep. Doesn't hurt to give it a quick check. Alright, I need to be headed further east. That's where the hard drives are. Because south is just the swamp. And is this working properly? No, it is still having fuel problems. Why can you not get fuel? I don't understand why this factory is just constantly not refueling properly. But we're going to move on. Say that maybe it'll fix itself. Alright, there's another one, like here. Alright, we are moving into a starter area. So probably no more ancient hogs and giant spitters and stuff. Although I am currently getting shot at from a long ways. Let's get a hard drive. And I actually need to be sticking these in the MAM. Often forget about that. Alright. So that's that. Then we keep heading out further east to a tiny little island where there is one. Ooh, there's a summer sloop. We'll grab that. And there's a Mercer sphere over there, which I will also grab while holding C to avoid detection from the hatchers. It wouldn't be much of a trouble to fight them, but there's also no real reason to. And now we move on out. Another Mercer sphere. This place is Mercer City. Alright. And we get it. And I can see the hard drive from here. It's on that tiny little island over there. So let's cruise on over. Okay, this tiny little island is guarded. And it is actually quite annoying because it's sitting in water, which means I can't run up to it and hit it. However, it does seem to be quite stupid. Like, it could have shot me. Right, I'm just gonna see if I can ignore this smaller one and just grab this. I can. Alright, so now we have to head due north for the next one. Off we go. There's a Mercer sphere. Let me grab that. Better land to recharge fuel. And grab the Mercer sphere. And please let me get momentum to leave the island. Alright, now we just head northwest. It looks like a crazy cave system down underneath this, but not looking for that at the moment. Don't mind me, just passing on through. Alright, just passing on through. I don't have power up here, or I would plop down a radar or two. If I see a geyser, but it's unlikely to see a geyser in this terrain. But I do see another hard drive off among the dunes. Hello. Goodbye, hog. And now we can slide down the dunes and get up here. 5 iron rods. Yoink. Alright, now what? North east. There's one by that giant oasis-y thingy. Which I believe is like the starter patch of water for this base, so I'm pretty much right at the starting location. Almost exactly. Alright, looks like that one's going to require power, but probably won't require much. There's a Mercer Sphere, there's a whole bunch of poison flowers. And there's a hard drive. Alright, so let's see. You need 70 megawatts. Please. Alright. I need to get out of the poison flower range for now. Clock down. Burners. How many is it? 3. Well, I don't really have much fuel. Fortunately, I am surrounded by fuel. So let's just grab some of this. And pop power pole down. Attach all of these guys up to it. We throw some leaves in. And we hook it up. Pull the handle. Get the thing. Detach that. How much actually does the radar tower need? Like 30? Let's get a radar tower going, temporarily at least, just to reveal the terrain. And then we take these down. And then there's one way up at the north edge of the map. And another couple at the north edge of the map. Have I finished a man research? No. Alright. Off to the north edge of the map for another hard drive. There it is, right on the precipice. Let's get down there and grab it. It is guarded by an adult hog. It's no joke. Please don't snipe me. Alright, traded shots there, that's annoying. Alright. And got him. Easy enough. And aside from that, it's freely available. Alright, now there's another hard drive southwest-ish. Let's land on this little ledge real fast. And back up we go. This one looks like it's just in the middle of the sand. It's more southwest than just due west. There it is on that little rock formation. Alright, we fly over. Doesn't look to be guarded at all. Requires steel beams. And we got it. And there's another one along the north edge of the map. In this more mountainous area. And then another one headed on the way back home. So let's head up this way. Actually, following this river should get me there. If I'm looking at the map properly. No, there are two branches of the river. Okay, there's a summer sloop, but it is pretty well guarded. So I'm just going to ignore that and move on. So yeah, the other hard drive looks to be at the other branch of the river. Which, by the way, rivers don't normally branch often. Like, they can, but it's rare. Alright, we did find dark matter crystallization. So that means we have everything we need for our synthetic power shards. Oh gosh, and I almost just passed right by it. Yep, it's right up here. And seems to only be guarded by poison. So we can grab it real easy. Come on. Yeah, get moving. Stop getting stuck on things. Oh my gosh. Crouching is rough today. Alright. Then there's one last one, like west-southwest. And then I think I'll pretty much just be heading home to set up, or not even home really, just somewhere with oil and quartz to set up the what's it called? Synthetic power shard production. Alright, and I see it. I see the hard drive right here. Let's hop in and grab it. Alright. Please let me be sneaky. Yes, I'm so sneaky. Alright, we got it. We almost died, but we got it. That was close. I'm still getting shot at, of course. They never give up. I've already grabbed those hard drives. I think this was around where I turned around last time. Last time I was here, anyway. Alright, the number of hard drives remaining on the map is starting to become quite scarce. Like, there's a couple clustered around the edges of the swamp. And aside from that, it's just a few here and there. Alright, please let me get the Mercer Sphere. We got it. Alright. Now we need to find a good location to set up synthetic power shard production. Wait, is that the one that I couldn't find earlier, or is that just a different one? Yeah, no, that's just completely unrelated. The one that I couldn't find was way back to the east of this. Alright, let's grab some of this along the way. And I do see power. So if I have a power pole here, and isn't that the quartz setup? I think it is. So I have power, I have quartz. I think quartz was one of the things I needed for this. Like, I needed like 2 things, and quartz was one of them. Let's land. Let's get a man. And dark matter crystallization. Alright. So is there spare unused quartz? This is not overclocked at all. Which means I assume there's no oil here. And the oil is quite far away. Alright, so we're going to bring in oil via drone. And I think go for like 2 power shards a minute. Oh, we need water. Is there water here? Yeah, there's a river down there. Alright, so let's... Okay, actually, this doesn't need to use water. I can just be more inefficient with my quartz and just make quartz crystals directly. Which, just for the sake of my sanity, I think will be easier. So I'm going to need to upgrade this. Alright, so now I have plenty of quartz. And upgrade these belts to tier 3. And this is using... Alright, so that's using 60. I'm producing 150, so I have like 90 quartz. That's probably plenty. Alright, let's get our oil droned in. So, drone port. And this is power shard oil source. And we load you up with fuel. Power you on? It feels short for some reason. Switch to pack. Right. And then you get a drone. And you get to go to crude oil source. Alright, so now we have that. Time to actually start doing stuff. So let's take the quartz and get some constructors, which I guess will line up like that. And you go in there. You are both set to quartz crystals, but 22.5 is almost enough for this recipe. So that will be full. This one will be set to a respectable 1.5 a minute. And so now that'll give us 24 quartz crystals and still have more than enough production here. Alright, then we take the crude oil. We have to unpackage it. unpackage oil at a rate of 50.667. And then take that into a particle accelerator. Boy, I love power. Particle accelerator. And oil-based diamonds. Alright, so that needs to be set to make 10.133 diamonds per minute. Which is easy enough. And then we take the output of that and we plop down a converter. So now you go to the converter and you make time crystals at 5.0, no, not 50, 5.067 per minute. And that gets powered on. Alright, we have that, we have time crystals, we have pure quartz. So now we take a quantum encoder, which will take in a couple of things. Well, the next thing we need is another converter, which means more manual crafting of SAM fluctuators, because we need a ridiculous amount and we have no backlog at the moment. So let's just do that. It's going to be nice when I don't have to be using these constantly and I can just get an actual backlog set up so I don't have to constantly do this. 5, 4, 3. And it sounds like this is actually going now, so that's fun. Alright, so I need another converter, which needs even more SAM fluctuators, because of course it does. Alright, we're up to 96 out of 100. So this should finish it off. Alright, converter, you're set to make excited photonic matter at a rate of 24 per minute. Which is a fascinating recipe that requires no input, so that's fun. Alright, so now we have that and that. Now we go back and grab the quartz crystals and we push them forward up here. So we have time crystals there, photonic matter there, quartz crystals there. So now we can place a quantum encoder, or if we could if we had the space. So apparently it's ridiculously long. Alright, quantum encoder, quartz crystals. Some of the time crystals are being used for a different purpose, so I'll split them there. quartz crystal, time crystal, and photonic matter. And then I need to get, and I need another particle accelerator set to almost 0. Alright, so you go there, you set to dark matter trap, and you take these, which will go out like that, and then in like that, and you are set to synthetic power shard. And so that produces residual dark matter. This is also set to 40%. So now we take the residual dark matter from this, and we bring it around and up and in there. Where is my power pole? Apparently don't have one anywhere nearby. Alright, so that's powered on, that's powered on. This is set to make 2.133. And then we also need another particle accelerator set to almost 0. To make dark matter crystallization. Alright, so then that pipeline goes into there. You're set to dark matter crystallization, making 1.867 per minute. And you get powered on. And now we have to take these guys' crystal outputs. Actually, hang on. I need to make that look nicer so that I have space to do some maneuverability with this, because this is the main output I'm looking for. Alright, you can come like back here and then up and over. Alright, so then that makes crystals, that makes crystals. So we float around back here. We bring that belt in. We have fun little merger. So you go in there, you go in there. And then we take this belt of dark matter crystals around the outside, up and into the fourth slot. And now we have to figure out how to get this bootstrapped. Dark matter crystals requires residual dark matter to work. Dark matter residue can be produced in the It can be produced from reanimated SAM, or as an output for, or as a side effect of like neural quantum processors and other things. So, in order to bootstrap this, I just need a converter. Where's the... So this is the pipe that will carry the residual dark matter once it's existed. So I need a converter, and I need more freaking SAM fluctuators. Oh, I'm gonna scream. I have these things automated. Please just stop requiring hundreds of them at a time mere moments after I've finished automating them. And also I think they might be broken. I think the automation might not be working for these. We'll have to check that out. But for now, I'm going to manually craft a bunch of these. Four, three. Alright, so now I'm up to 44, which need another 20-ish, another 24. Alright, so it is still producing them. My automation is technically working, however, it is like egregiously slow. So I need to get this up to like 60 in order for this to be done. And basically what I need to do is I just need to, I guess I can put that junction in. So I just need a converter to produce some residual dark matter out of SAM so that it can get the whole thing running. I don't need like a consistent supply of it here. I just need some to get started, sort of like the, what's it called, the plastic canisters. Once I get it started, it'll just cycle through the dark matter traps and dark matter crystallization on its own. Alright, so then we get the converter in, we hook that up, we power it on, say make residual dark matter, and so give me reanimated SAM, throw that in, and it's working. Alright, now was there something else that I messed up? What was I? Time crystals. Do the second time crystals properly get sorted over there? Yes, they should, but this is not running. So you're not going to need any diamonds because you are just straight up idle for some reason. Ah, the empty canisters. Yeah, that would do it. Forgot about those. Alright, give me a sink. And power that on. Alright, so that is running, which means that this should be running now. Should be? Yes. Alright. There is a bit of a delay between when it figures out that it can run and when it actually starts running. Alright. So that's that. It might require even more residual dark matter to fully get itself figured out. I'm not entirely sure. It's 5 to 10. It uses 50 per minute. I'll throw another stack. I'll throw another stack in just to make sure that everything is good. So yeah, that just requires like half a minute to run. And this hasn't received any time crystals yet, so that's what it's taking so long on. That is obviously just full. This is starting to run and produce time crystals, and their spread is going to be whack for a while. So let's just throw some in for bootstrapping. So now the manifold should auto-regulate faster. That is full, that is full. Alright. I think we are good on the residual dark matter. I think we have enough of that. And I can take that down, which is great. It also refunds me my 100 fluctuators. So that is producing 24 residual dark matter a minute. That's using 18.67, that's using 5.33. I think that adds up to 24. Alright. We are starting to get power shards. And as far as consumption goes, we're still looking good. Not looking great, but we are looking good. So let's fill that in because it looks kind of ugly. And let's get a storage container. And a dimensional depot. Yo, what's up? It's going pretty good. I have just automated power shards, so now I will never have to go hunting for slugs again. It's quite exciting. Alright. So this is still getting warmed up on its dark matter crystal supply. That will eventually figure itself out. Speaking of things that I'm never going to have to do again, let's continue doing these scans. I'm very almost done. Yeah, I would certainly appreciate a follow. Alright. So this is 2 power shards per minute. So realistically, I'm going to end up with more than I know what to do with eventually. Yeah, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Every little bit helps. And is this drone having fuel problems? Yes, it is. Alright. I'm going to need to investigate my drone ports to see what is going on with the fuel supply, because something is horribly wrong. Is this my favorite game? Yes, it is. At the moment, anyway. Obviously, my favorite game changes from time to time, but this has been my favorite for a while now. Alright. So, now the next thing we have to do is investigate fuel. So, it could be that fuel in general is short. It could be that there's some problem at the destinations. I also play Magic the Gathering. I stream that on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so if you watch tomorrow, I'll be streaming that. I've been playing other games off stream, like Civilization 7, yeah, stuff like that. Alright, let's investigate fuel. I really hope the entire drone network isn't crippled by this. It would be very annoying if it were. Alright. Alright, so the fuel is by the west coast and a good ways south as well. So it could be that my fuel consumption at some point overtook fuel production and everything is empty there. That's cool. I don't play shooters much, but I guess Satisfactory is kind of a shooter if you squint. Not really though. Alright. So it should be... Is that it there? We're gonna have to land real quick. Keep moving to avoid the spitter. I think that is it off in the distance. No, wait, no, that's the fused frame supplier. Yeah. I've been streaming for a little more than a month, I think, maybe a month and a half. Somewhere around then. Okay. Alright, see the fuel source on the HUD, on the compass. I don't see it in person, but I should be getting pretty close. Yep. Yeah, thank you. Alright, and this is the part where you're gonna ask me about buying your panels, and I'm gonna have to ban you, so... That'll be fun. Did I pass it? No, it's right over here. Alright. Fuel source is this way. I see a whole bunch of yellow, which normally means polymer resin backup. Yeah, okay, friend on Discord. Yep, alright, you're one of those guys. Goodbye. Alright. Yep, fuel is completely empty. Oh gosh. That's gonna break all sorts of things. So, fuel is empty. And if I look at these, it's because fuel isn't being produced. There's plenty of containers, not any fuel put in them. Yep, so the containers side of things is doing fine. This is normal looking. follow this pipe down to these blenders. No heavy oil residue. And that brings back to this polymer resin buildup. Why is there a polymer resin buildup? Is it just the ratios are ever so slightly wrong? It probably is the ratios are ever so slightly wrong. So let's get a smart splitter in there. And a sink. And that goes into the sink. Sink is powered on. Set right to overflow. And make sure that can handle the capacity, and that problem is solved. It must be a very minor problem, because it worked correctly for a long time. It worked correctly for a pretty long time, which means the ratios must be really quite close. But now we know. And this should all be solved by that. Polymer resin is now being drained. Heavy oil residue is being produced. That one's producing as well. That one is producing as well. That one. Alright, so these ones out here are struggling a bit more just because they're lower on the priority list. So I will accelerate that by just dragging all of this junk out of here. Goodbye. Goodbye. And now we should be good to go. So I'm probably gonna have to run around and fix like all of the drone ports because of that. That's pretty annoying. Alright, now that man research has completed. And alright, we currently have everything available at the moment. So I guess let's start taking them. So this take cloudy diamonds, I guess. And now we can start another scan. Take heat fused frame because biocoal is genuinely pointless. Cheap silica, why not? Fine black powder, sure. Something uranium. Compacted steel, I guess. OC supercomputer. Fertile uranium, why not? Instant plutonium. Uranium fuel unit. And pink diamonds. Alright, now we have a whole bunch of recipes that we didn't have, most of which are useless, or I would have picked them by now. But at least we have them. And now everything over here is running again. Rubber is being used. And yes, look at that. The packagers are now packaging. And the fuel supply is officially in business. Alright, well, we're going to have to wait a bit for this to refill before we start sending things over to restock. And yeah, I'm pretty sure just like probably the entire drone network is frozen at this point. Actually, there is a drone stop right over here, right? So I can check that out, see what is going on with this. Oh, and it doesn't look good. It certainly looks quite bad, actually. Yep, iron supply has completely dried up, and with it, this entire production line. Looks like quartz. Looks like some of the other ones which use less fuel might have managed to last through. Yeah, these two both are not giving the no fuel available warning. But it does mean I am going to have to run along and check every single thing. And this, by the way, is why you do not have anything power related reliant on any sort of transportation. For power purposes, just use belts. Alright. Let's check this out. Alright. It is filling up with fuel. But it's kind of taking a while. The thing is, most of them hardly ever actually use it. Alright, why are you flickering? Is it just going to be a fuel manifold thing? Yeah, alright. Well, that's not a huge concern. It'll figure itself out eventually. That one's full, that one's full. That one's full. This one is almost full. Which means that as of now, this one should be receiving its fair share. And it looks like almost, at least. Alright, power crisis has been averted. Well, not power crisis, fuel crisis specifically. So now let's run along to the drone stops. So I know iron is busted, but I'm going to have to check all of them just to make sure. I was kind of hoping to be able to get back to placing fuel generators, or even getting some canisters up so that I can store the whatchamacallits. gosh, this is going to be a bit of a nightmare, isn't it? Like, not just the stops at the depots. I'm also have to go to all of the stops at all of the factories to make sure that they are jump started. Yeah, this is gonna suck. This is gonna be a lot of running around, isn't it? All right, let's see. Alright, there's fuel there for whatever that's packaged nitrogen. There's fuel here for copper. Where is the drone? Alright, no, that is the one that just waits to get stuff. Yeah, the fuel supplier was bricked. So we're just going to drag some fuel in there and get it started again. Alright, so then we head over to this, which, let's see here. That's the nitrogen source. That's the fuel supplier, which is looking fine. Yep. And then this is the canister supplier, which obviously is different. Okay, so now we have to head up north. Now we have to head up north and check the coal and limestone. Alright, where are these things? They should be gigantic Caterium. Huh? Alright, the coal one was in a cave, I think. And this is the limestone one, which I don't know if I'm using limestone for anything, but apparently I am because it's out of fuel. So we will reboot that. Now we head down here for the coal. And you need fuel to be rebooted. And I think the quartz one was in here. It'll need to be rebooted. I hope that rebooting all of these in short succession won't be a problem. It very well might be. Like, the demand isn't normally going to be this concentrated. Oh. Did I run past it? Where is the actual quartz source here? I thought it was in this cave, but of course is going that way. Alright, I seem to have lost those spiders. Right, the quartz cave is east of here, as is the sulfur one. Alright, let's take a look at this. Fuel supplier is bricked. And then we get south of here to the sulfur supplier. Oh, this... I do love running around fixing things and hoping that they are fixed. Alright, this is the sulfur supplier. And it seems to be doing fine. I'll fill it in just to make sure. Alright, so then the iron is the big one that I know is broken and causing problems. And it is down this way. Joy of drone systems. Alright. So this is it here. Yep. There you go, have some fuel. And I will wait around to see if this one functions properly. There might, like this surge of demand might cause problems in terms of how many stacks it actually brings over. I should have thought about that when I was doing the first couple of them, but if there are demand surge problems, then they'll definitely be happening by now. I'm going to sit around and wait and see how many stacks of fuel it actually brings. Just hopping around, waiting for that. Actually did a man research finish. Yes. And I can get another one running. Alright. The iron fuel supplier drone. Let's see if I can track it. It appears to be circling, waiting for another drone to finish loading. The limestone one is currently in the process of loading. The iron one is circling. The copper one is showing up. So it'll also be waiting. Alright, is there a reason the limestone drone is just sitting there like a moron? No, it just takes a while. So iron is now in, limestone is heading off. Oh boy. Now, did the limestone one fill up all the way? Or just partially? I don't actually know about how drones work like in that way. Do they wait to be completely full loads? Or will they just, like trains, take whatever is there? quartz is sending its fuel supplier along. Oh, the iron is coming back. Alright, so we will get to see pretty shortly. So if we look up to the west, you might be able to see it in the distance. In fact, yes, there it is. Look at it coming in. Now, how much fuel is it going to bring? Is it going to bring a lot of fuel or a little fuel? Alright, here it is. Hopefully it brings a lot of fuel, because the more fuel it brings per trip, the more efficient it is. Alright, it lands. And this landing animation takes a long time. Alright, it only brought like 2.5 stacks of fuel. That's not that much. But it is probably enough that, I mean, it's very inefficient in terms of like they're using a lot of fuel to transport not that much fuel, but it is working. So it is bringing fuel here. And I think as long as we let them, as long as we let the ports accumulate fuel before turning on the suppliers, and thus those factories, then, so as long as we let the sources accumulate fuel before letting the factories start burning it, it should be fine. I don't think there will be any significant problems from that. So let's just turn on all of the sources before we get around to turning on any of the suppliers. You know, I'm kind of surprised they let bots just literally use the word slur in their name. I guess it's not a slur in itself, but still kind of weird. Alright. Yep, no fuel here. Give me some. Alright, bauxite is now taking off. And further east we find Caterium. Oh, and Caterium is the one that was named improperly too. So that'll be fun. At least I have an excuse to head over there and fix that. Alright, over there. I think it's probably right by this radar tower, if I remember. Alright, I need to land. Landing successful. Alright, looks like the Caterium supplier managed to survive. Makes sense. I don't know what I'm using that even for. Alright, north is crude oil supplier. let's head up for that. And then we are going to have to reboot all of the destinations, which is going to suck a lot more than this, probably, because they're not all in one convenient general side of the map. Alright, how are you doing? You have fuel. You are short on fuel. So let's grab some of this and throw that in there. And then we head over here to the oil. Where is this being fueled from? Oh, it's taking its fuel from that same thing over there. Okay. That makes sense. Alright, that's another drone port. Another drone network reactivated. And what else do we have? Some elevator stuff that I don't really care about. What is this? Alright, that's the power shard oil. It's going to need to be rebooted. Circuit board source, not a concern. There's the gas mask stuff. Alright, I think I visited all of the sources. Now I need... Actually, can I... Copper source, nitrogen source. Alright, another MAM is finished. Let's put another one in. Alright, so we are going to have to visit all of the suppliers. Alright, so copper is looking pretty good. The fuel source is being swarmed. Limestone is looking pretty good. Coal is... There's got to be a way to hide drones and just show the ports. 'Cause I don't really care about the stupid drones at the moment. Maybe minimizing them. Ah, yes, there we go. Show hide all on map. And a compass. Alright, so that should make this easier. So the fuel source is frankly struggling. Copper fuel supplier has a ton of fuel in it now. Copper source is doing the thing it always does. Limestone fuel supplier is basically done. Limestone source is whatever. Coal fuel supplier is basically done. Quartz fuel supplier is basically done. Sulfur fuel supplier. Come on. Is difficult to tell because it is too close to another thing. Iron fuel supplier. Please let me hover over the iron fuel supplier so that I can see details about it. Bauxite fuel supplier is done. Shifol is Caterium. Caterium is done. Alright, so now those are all of those. So now we can head back to here. Iron supplier at supercomputers. So we need to do supercomputer, iron, gas mask is fine. Canisters have a drone set up. Crude oil is fine. Nitrogen canister supplier is fine. Fused frame, coal, oil, good. Limestone, good. Copper, good. Nitrogen, good. So fused frame looks fine. Cooling system. Bauxite is Bauxite is messed up. Oil is messed up. Turbomotor iron is messed up. Alright, these ones are just going to be elevator stuff I don't really care about. Circuit board source is doing whatever it does. Alright, the SAM iron supplier. And power shard oil. Alright, so it's not that bad. So where are we on the map? We're like there. So let's head down. Let's head down south to the... Yeah, actually, we are right on this hypertube lane. Right at this intersection. So we can head down south and fix that. It looks like most of the damage has been recovered from, at least on the source side of things. And fuel is still being produced, so that should be fine by now. So we're just going to have to run around rebooting all of these. I do love it when like half of my factories all break simultaneously. This is the downside of having interconnected stuff, is that when something breaks, lots of things can break simultaneously without you realizing, whereas like, you know, my aluminum ingot production has broken a couple of times, but that doesn't hurt anything because nothing else is hooked up to it. So this is a bit of a foreshadowing for my next game, because once I'm done with this, I'm going to be doing a mega factory build, which will certainly be fun. Where are the drones for this? Alright, there's some over there. Next, there's some drones over here. Alright, so you need to grab another couple hundred fuel so you can be rebooted. And you can be rebooted. And then I have to run... Where even is... Are they on the west side of the... Ah, here they are. Alright, so you are fine waiting to unload. You need fuel. Off you go, bring back that iron. You are fine waiting to unload. The rest of these look like they are just waiting to unload. Now, how is the fuel backlog actually looking at this point? Basically non-existent. All sorts of drones are still looking for it. And if I show them, yeah. Alright, well, that's fun. While that fixes itself, I am going to make the problem marginally worse. I'm just going to put down a drone port that takes in some canisters so that I can have rocket fuel. And I guess that can just be like here, like off the side of the row. So let's get drone port in. Rocket fuel canister supplier. And give it a drone. Tell it to go to canister source. Hook it up to power. And give it some fuel. Alright, so now we just need a cheeky packager, which will take the canisters and what have I done? Please go away. Alright, so it takes the canisters and some rocket fuel and makes packaged rocket fuel. And we power it on. Alright, and then that will... Yeah, that'll just do that. And... give us... a dimensional depot. No, not just a random dimensional depot. That's not how I do things. A storage container with a dimensional depot on top of it. And a conveyor lift feeding in. So now, once this gets back, I will have a steady supply of rocket fuel for my jetpack. And there's no risk of using up all the rocket fuel I'm producing anytime soon. Alright. Capacity is at 33K. Yeah, let's just place down a couple fuel generators. Come on. Alright, I need to switch to the hover pack for this. It's impossible to get a good vantage point. Alright. You get placed. And then I think it'll wrap around the back. Like that. And then you get placed there. And you get placed there. And there. And missing copper sheet and rubber. Why am I missing those things? That's a little bit weird. I didn't realize these used so many of those. Alright, and then we have to hook these all up. And then we bring this out and over and then in there. And finally we attach them all up to the power supply. Oh, and that needs to be hooked up as well. And just like that, we have a power spike, probably. Another couple thousand, probably. As we wait for the rocket fuel to trickle in. Alright, speaking of rocket fuel trickling in, we now have a pretty solid supply of the best jetpack fuel available. For now at least. So let's test that out. So this is turbo fuel. Quite good. And we stop. And now we say rocket fuel. And we tell you to prefer rocket fuel. And it is night and day. I am incredibly far up. And I'm still halfway. Yeah, that is incredible. Yeah, rocket fuel is pretty great. So how's the power looking? Decent. Not a huge boost, but it's something. Wait, is this not hooked up? Yes, of course it's not hooked up. Because I hooked it up to that one, not that one. Alright, so now, look, and that is that's a decent boost there. Like 34k-ish to 36k-ish. And we're not done yet. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 in the first row. And now we also have a massive quantity of power shards. So we can hop along, upgrade all of these. Please. And upgrade. And upgrade. And yeah, production is now up to 39K. And the first row is 12, the second row is therefore like 8. Which means we're still... If I recall, we needed like 50 some just for a single batch of fuel generators. Alright, let's put another 4 in. And fix that. And of course we paste the settings to give these guys their power shards, which we actually need to have the power shards in our inventory for. Alright, and then we hook them up to the pipeline. And then we hook them up to the power line. And another nice boost. We are now officially producing enough that even if all the machines were running at full capacity, we would be fine. And this is still 24 out of, let's see, how many of these? 10.42. 600 divided by 10.42. Yes, we need 57. So this is half of one pipe. So we need to double this. We need to double this, add a little bit extra, and then do that like five more times. 4 more times, and one of those 4 times will be smaller. But still, power production going crazy. So yeah, I think we'll spend the rest of this stream just doing some more of this. So let's get fuel generator manifold. And line you up like that. And get placing. And I don't know how many. It seems like we were low on copper sheets recently, so I wonder if that is going to happen again. Please line up properly while I click. Yeah, low on rubber for some reason. Don't fully understand that. So we will let that happen and place that. So I think rubber was not... Okay, that doesn't quite... This one was a bit too far out, but not a big deal. So we need to hook that up to that. And then hook this, the rest of this entire line up. And then twist the pipe around to meet them. And then start putting in the power shards. Is that working? Yes. All right. So these are just waiting on rocket fuel to trickle down. The rocket fuel supply is a bit busy now. 120 of it is being pulled off to this, which ultimately won't be a significant power consumer. But it is also just flowing through like the manifold to end all manifolds, pretty much. Still, it is making its way down. So yeah, these... We're now three quarters of the way, so that's 12, 24, 36. Yeah, so we're 3/4 of the way done with this pipe, and then we have 3 more full pipes and a partial pipe to go. So let's... Alright, we need to actually finish this row. Technically, this is only 34 at the moment. So let's get a fuel generator manifold. Line her up. And hook the pipes up. Hook the power line up. Give them the power shards. So now we're at 36 out of 57. And if I check power pole, it's looking juicy. We're up to almost 50k production. Power boost is up to 4.5k, which is great. And we're also at the point where even rocket fuel is taking a while to get back here. This should be, yeah, it's filling up bit by bit, draining a massive amount of rocket fuel while it does. 120 rocket fuel a minute is going that way. In the long run, that'll be like hardly anything, and we can just not worry about it, because it'll only run every so often. But for now, we have to wait. So let's get Let's get another row in. And this will be the last full row for this pipe. We've almost finished using a full pipe of rocket fuel. Alright, so let's get the generators in, which is lined up like that. And what is it clipping on? Oh, it just doesn't like that power pole being there, I guess? I don't know, I mean, it is very close. It is very close. But we're just gonna ignore that. And rubber seems like it's actually... Yeah, let's check. Yeah, so rubber is only going through at 60 a minute because... No, stop that. Rubber is only going through at 60 a minute because of the whole thing with the belts. From when I upgraded dimensional storage, I didn't get all of them done. So that's a little bit awkward, but we'll head over there and fix it at some point. Ultimately not a huge deal. Alright, so then we have that. We hook these power lines up. We hook that up to the last one. And just like that, we have that. Now I guess that it seems like, at least for now, we are using the full capacity of the rocket fuel. It would make sense to actually go down and check, are they producing at max speed? And the answer is no. That one's missing turbo fuel, that one's missing turbo fuel. Okay, well, I'm not entirely sure how that worked out as well as it did up till now, but somehow, like, there were just a couple machines completely isolated from the rest of the turbo fuel production. And this line all looks fine. Yeah, this is a separate one, and it is completely maxed out on rocket fuel, of course, because it's not being used at all. Now that I have turbo fuel reaching these interior ones, they should also be running at max capacity. Which ones were they even? It's actually impossible to say because it just instantly solved itself. Well, that's another 200 rocket fuel a minute. Yep, so the last couple ones down near the edges, down near the ends of the manifold are struggling a little bit. Probably largely because of this thing. Now, while we've been doing that, has this been stocking up meaningfully? No, it is still fighting for its life over there. And our power is looking great. Alright, well, there is not much I can reasonably do in just a couple of minutes. So we're going to end the stream here. Next stream, I am going to finish off fixing the drone system. I sort of got distracted because while I was here, I decided I may as well place down some fuel generators. But next stream, we're going to finish fixing the drone stuff, and we are going to make more progress on this. And hopefully, I mean, it's not going terribly slowly. Now that we have our synthetic power shards set up, which is probably bricked right now because it's attached to the drone system. But now that we have that set up, we don't need to worry about power shards anymore. We can just shard everything as it's convenient to us, and things will get a lot easier from now on. I'll have to use a lot fewer machines for stuff. It'll be great. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. I am going to be playing Magic the Gathering, and then I'll be back on Friday for more of this. So make sure to follow if you've been enjoying.